Yes, hi there. These comments are for Kiwi, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the online TOEFL course, the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And thank you for your comments, especially I appreciate you telling me how you found me, and it is so complex trying to understand how people find my webpage and then they end up maybe subscribing to my course. In your case, you said you searched, you read hundreds of different pages and comments, so you were all over the internet, you found my website. Anyway, you say, I got my first TOEFL result a few days ago, so you scored 75. That's a great start, right? So you had 16 on the reading, 20 points on the listening, 19 points in the speaking, and 20 points in the writing. So you say part of the reading was about biology, which I was not familiar with at all. Now here's the good news, or bad news, depending on how you look at it. You don't, even though the passage was about biology, you don't have to have pre-existing knowledge about biology. All the information that you need in the reading passage is in that reading passage. Now, of course, because the vocabulary is high and there's a lot of specific concepts relative to that particular discipline, it does make it harder to read, but all the answers are there, right? You say, I also found it's hard to pronounce English clearly and accurately, particularly as I was so apprehensive. So sometimes it's a matter of preparing, Kiwi. If you prepare, you're more confident, you won't be as apprehensive or nervous, and then you may do better, especially when it comes to the speaking section of the test. And I know the speaking is difficult, it's so fast, right? But you do have to try to relax and be confident there. And your question here is, you can study TOEFL 3 to 4 hours a day from now until October through November. My goodness, so you got a lot of time here. You say except April, May, and July. Now here's a problem. Even though you may not be studying during April, May, and July, you still want to practice English, right? Even if you're not using a course or a book or going to an intensive English program, you want to keep using English as much as you can. So your goal here is 96. You say, do you think it's possible to jump from 75 to 96? Yes, it is. It is. So you say, I'd like to hear your advice, recommendations of what courses would be suitable. I'll give you a situation. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I'm not saying the example is exactly applicable to you, but it's just an example. One of my students, I think he was from Pakistan, his name was Rasa, and his TOEFL, when I met him, or he met me online, it was around 80. Now, he went from 80 to 105, and believe it or not, he did it in about 2 months. Now, that's actually not typical. Usually it will take longer than that, but that's just his example. Now, in your case, I'll be honest, you want to go from 85, 95, so you're looking at maybe 20 to 25 points. So I think you're probably looking at about maybe 3 or 4 months, depending on how diligent you are in your studies. Now, if you take a break, April, May, and July, and don't study English at all, then that's not going to be good for you. So that's going to make it even longer for you. So here are my suggestions right now. I would recommend maybe 3 things right now. And at the end of this, you should probably take a full-length practice TOEFL exam, a 4.5-hour exam, so you can get a score, you can see where you are, and then you can make some adjustments. I do offer at my online TOEFL course right now, it's an additional service I have, I do offer a full-length IBT practice test so you can mark your progress at the end of your studies with me, right? That's probably a good thing for you. Okay, here's 3 things. Get or stay in the habit of reading about 45 to 60 minutes every day, even during April, May, and July. Do not take a break from your reading practice. This is very, very important. You can read magazines, newspapers, and then books. In many cases, if you have a library close to where you live, you can get this information directly from a library. This is important. Now, number 2, get or stay. When I say stay, that means if you're already doing this, keep doing it. Stay in the habit of practicing listening about the same amount of time each day, even during April, May, and July. So I recommend TV programs. If you watch TV, focus on news programs, history programs, documentary programs, and maybe new science programs, and that's going to be very good. But you're still not done with this. Now, as you're doing the reading and the listening practice, get in the habit of note-taking, Kiwi. You want to focus on the main and the most important supporting points of those reading and listening passages. This is going to be very important for you. It's really going to help you improve your integrated speaking and integrated writing proficiency. So using your notes, you can speak and you can write about that information. Now let's go to the third thing. Third thing is my online TOEFL course. I'm going to recommend my 90-day TOEFL study guide. I think that's probably the best one for you. So if you go to my website at Better TOEFL Scores, if you just type in Better TOEFL Scores, that'll take you back to my home page. Now there is a tab at the top that says Study Guides. So Kiwi, once you find the web page that says Study Guides, I would focus on the 90-day study guide, and that's going to give you a lot of great vocabulary practice. It's also going to help you with your pronunciation, your grammar, your reading, your listening, and your writing and speaking areas. And little by little, one lesson at a time, step by step, you will begin to improve your academic English language proficiency. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I do have an additional service where you can complete a full-length 4.5-hour IBT practice test. It's boring, I know, but it will give you an accurate measurement of your current academic English ability. So right before you're ready to pay the $200 to take the test, take one of my full-length IBT practice tests so you can mark your progress and see where you are. And then you can make a determination about whether or not you're ready to make the investment, the $200 investment, registering online for the TOEFL. All right, Kiwi, anyway, thank you very much for your email, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.